this episode is for you if you have ever wanted to throw the scale against the wall. Because here's the thing, we are told to focus on how many pounds that we've lost. We're told to focus on what the scale says, when in fact, weight loss is the last thing that happens. I'm Holly Bertone, former FBI Chief of Staff for Counterintelligence, now known as the Emotional Eating Profiler and Coach. I was trained in elite level pattern recognition at the FBI, and now I use those same pattern recognition skills to find out exactly why you can't lose weight and why everything that you have tried has failed. Today, you're going to get 15 non-scale weight loss wins because I want to prove to you that the scale has been lying to you the entire time. Now, what is really cool about today's episode is that I have with me on Zoom a live studio audience for the second time ever. And after I finish the episode, we're going to continue to record. And these women will have a chance to ask questions and get some coaching in real time. And we're going to do this several more times throughout the summer. And at the end of the episode, I will share with you how you can join. Now, the reason that I wanted to create this episode and this video for you, it was because of a really good laugh that I had with one of my clients. And we got a really good chuckle out of it, a giggle. If you would say a giggle, we had a good giggle. And what this does is that this highlights the misconception that I think every single woman has out there about weight loss. This woman is a beta tester inside of my brand new Back to Basics program for healthy and sustainable weight loss. The core foundation for this program is that it is not a quick fix. It's not one of those drop 20 pounds in a month by any means necessary. This is how you can build the foundation and the environment to become a sustainable weight loss machine. The majority of my clients are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. This specific beta tester, she's 80 years old, she's overweight, and she is diabetic. And she is so excited to be a part of the beta cohort because in her words, she says, if I can do it, anyone can do it. But I want to tell you what happened in her first week. In her first week inside of the program, she is complaining to me because she has not lost any weight. And then she goes on to tell me that she is following the program to a T. She's walking 30 minutes every single morning. She said her energy's improved so much that she does not need to take a nap in the afternoon like she used to every single day. And she says she no longer has any blood sugar spikes when before they would spike all day long. Like her blood sugar is completely stable. And I am looking at her and I'm like, okay, wait a second. You're walking every day, you have more energy, you're not taking naps, and your blood sugar has completely stabilized. And it has been 7 days. And you're mad because you haven't lost a single pound. And again, we both got a good laugh out of it. And I'm sharing this with you because we as women, we have been programmed from birth that our measure of beauty and our measure of value is determined by a number between our two big toes. I mean, think about how ridiculous that sounds. I actually proved this wrong on so many levels in an episode just a couple of weeks ago. And I'll leave a link for you in the show notes. It's called "The Scale is Lying to You." So if you want to go back, you can check that out. But it got me thinking, because if we have only been programmed to focus on the scale, how many women don't know what actually counts as progress? How many women are actually seeing gains that they have no idea that they're seeing, and the scale doesn't move, so they quit? How many women don't know that there are so many different leading indicators that happen before the weight actually starts to come off and come off consistently? How many women don't understand that the scale, the weight, that is a lagging indicator? It comes last. And a lot of weight loss coaches are going to sell you on this whole promise of lose 20 pounds in your first month. And it drives me nuts. It's this false promise. We hear it over and over again, and yet we continue to believe it. But every single weight loss coach who is worth their salt, the ones who I respect, they preach 1 to 2 years. And you heard me right. They preach 1 to 2 years for a weight loss journey, which sounds like an eternity. But if you want to do this the right way, if you want to do this the sustainable way, that's the number you need to now have etched in your brain. Because for most women over 40, healthy and sustainable weight loss, it can be anywhere from half of a pound a week to 2 pounds a week at the most. And this isn't even consistent. This is just, if they're going to lose weight, it's on average half a pound to 2 pounds a week at the most. The majority of women and the majority of my clients are looking at 2 to 6 pounds a month, which does not sound like a lot. And this is not to discourage you. That is the last thing I want to do. But what we need to do, I want you to manage your expectations better, because there is a huge difference between all of these Instagram claims and these 20 somethings and early 30 somethings that, have no body fat and these tiny little bodies claiming that you can do this when they don't understand what real life looks like. And they don't understand, especially once we hit that 37, 38, 40 mark, our bodies are different. Real weight loss, it is slow and it is boring and it is not sexy at all. And there are not enough weight loss coaches selling you on that truth. There are women who I know who are on GLP-1s and they're in Facebook groups. They have even said that in these Facebook groups, women are complaining all of the time because they are not losing weight fast enough. I want you to think about it from this perspective. You are not taking fat out of your stomach, putting it in a microwave, and punching the 60-second button, and then all of a sudden, your skinny body is ready. This is not how it works. And I know that it is so hard to wrap your head around the magnitude of how long this is going to take. I know it's hard to wrap your head around looking so far out, and especially if you haven't seen any progress. And that's why I want to share these 15 leading indicators. That's why I want you to understand that outside of this scale, there's a lot of stuff going on in your body that's really good and that is going to lead up to that consistent, healthy weight loss. And especially because these 15 leading indicators, they don't always look like wins. In fact, some of them you might be like, what is wrong with me? Some of them are so subtle, you're not even going to notice them. So let's get into what realistic progress looks like beyond the scale. Number one, you may feel worse before you feel better, especially if you eat a lot of processed food and fast food and convenience food, because your body is shifting energy production. Your body needs to purge this stuff out, and that purging can get quite interesting in the bathroom. This one is the most unfun one, but it needs to be said. Number two, I talked about energy. Once your body starts shifting its energy production, you are going to notice more consistent energy throughout the day. And especially if you pair exercise with better nutrition and moving your body more, you are going to start to have more consistent energy. Number three, in conjunction with that, when you are properly fueling your body with optimal nutrition, your cravings are going to decrease and your blood sugar is going to be more stable. And again, this all works together because your body operates like a machine. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. Number 4, you may have a quick drop of a few pounds in the beginning, but this is typically the carbs in the water clearing out of your system. So don't get too excited because oftentimes this is not fat. Number 5, you learn to be comfortable with not having a full belly all day. The goal is to eat so that you are satiated. But there are going to be times when you feel a little hungry and you decide not to grab the snack. Your body needs time to digest. Your body needs time to burn fat. And the more you feed your body throughout the day, the more you're turning off that fat burning mode. Number 6, your clothes are going to fit differently. You may even notice a difference in inches if you track inches like your waist or your hips or even your arms. One of my favorite coaching moments was when a client stood up on her Zoom call and she pulled out her pants and she's like, "Look how much room is in my pants." She did not celebrate her weight. She celebrated how her body was changing and how proud she was of herself. Number 7. Oh, I'm going to get some heat on this one. Your face and your boobs are going to get leaner. Okay, the face, usually a win, but the boobs might be good or bad depending on how you view it, and I'm just going to let that one there. Number 8, all of a sudden, you are going to realize that you are consistent with your new behaviors and habits. All of a sudden, you're going to realize this is no longer difficult. This is no longer uncomfortable to do the new thing. You're just doing it automatically. Number 9, this one's kind of weird. You're going to smell different. Yes, I really just said that. As you transition your food source from processed food to whole foods, and especially as you minimize or eliminate sugars and seed oils and fast food, your body and your sweat is going to smell different. And depending on your diet, you may barely smell it at all. I remember back a few years ago, there were times in the summer when I would shower and then 1 hour later, like I literally could not stand to be around myself because my armpits smelled so bad. But when you clean up your diet, your smell is going to clean up with it. Number 10, you enter what I call the limerence phase. And what I mean by this, it's this weird phase, this weird in-between phase where you've got one foot on the old identity and it's just barely on the old identity, and the other foot is barely on the new identity. So you're doing this split in between your old identity and your new identity, and it's almost like you're in this no man's land, this free for all. And I'm not going to lie, of all of these, this one is a win, but it actually kind of sucks. And I want to make a podcast episode on this down the road. Number 11, you start sleeping better. This one is important because your body's repair of your two hunger hormones, your ghrelin and your leptin, it happens when you sleep. So you're probably going to also start going to bed a little earlier naturally. And when you think about it, whenever you have a poor night's sleep, when you wake up and you don't get a good night's sleep, you want the sugary treat, you want the starchy carbs. This is because your ghrelin and your leptin, it didn't have a chance to repair. So when you start sleeping better, the sleeping better and the cravings are going to go hand in hand, because the more you sleep better, the less your cravings are going to be. Number 12, life starts getting easier. And by that, I mean your best choices are automatic. You don't have that mental gymnastics in your head when it comes to food. And you start to actually enjoy the process. You actually enjoy this new lifestyle, which is the perfect segue to number 13. you start to see what is possible. You actually start to see the momentum. You can finally start to visualize the new version of who you're becoming. Number 14, you find calm and peace and boundaries. In fact, you're going to form an allergy to chaos and drama. Now, this one is fun because you're going to start setting up new boundaries with people who only know you a certain way, and that can get interesting. But you are also so laser focused on doing what is best for you, you don't even care. You just say no thank you to that fake obligation without a second thought. And this one comes a little bit further down the road, but when my clients get here, I love it because they all have this realization and it all sounds the same. I'm going to give you a bonus one before we get into number 15. Your bonus one, your labs are going to get better. One client of mine got off her blood pressure medication in her first 3 months. Another client's A1C dropped from 9.0 to 7.5 in 2 months. When you optimize your body to run like a machine, guess what? Your body is going to run like a machine. And then last one, 15. You're going to find this level of confidence and this level of conviction inside of you. And it's almost kind of scary. It's like, who is this superhero and where has she been my entire life? You know deep down, you know at a cellular level, this is who you are truly meant to be. And it feels so delicious. I can't even explain it. So those are the 15 non-scale weight loss wins that I want you to be aware of, that I want you to start tracking, especially when the scale isn't moving or isn't moving to your expectations. And you might be thinking, okay, Holly, that sounds all well and good, but when and how do these even start to happen? And I know this might sound impossible right now. I have seen every single one of these happen to me, and I've seen them happen to the women I work with. So where do you start? This is your CSI red yarn moment. I want you to start by acting as if. I want you to drop the identity of the woman who is always on a diet, who is always trying to lose weight. And I want you to become the woman who is operating at the healthiest version of yourself. You realize that your environment at home and the lifestyle that you lead, it is feeding that old version of you. So you make changes to your environment, to your lifestyle, to optimize your healthiest self, to stack the cards in your favor. And you also change your focus from those outcome goals to process goals. And what I mean by that is that the smart women who do this long term, yeah, they're going to check in with the scale, but they aren't concerned with it. They know that when they stay committed to the process, this is going to get them the results that they want. It is a slow and steady wins the race mentality. And I know right now, this is decades of programming that your brain is like, I can't wrap my head around this. The quick fix culture, it is all we know. There is an old philosophy and it's called be, do, have. And that's what I've been talking about. That's what this follows. This has worked for thousands of years. Focus on who you are becoming first, because that is going to influence what you do, those behaviors and habits, and that is going to create the results that you have. Those new habits and routines are going to help you to become someone different. And if you're thinking, oh, geez, Holly, becoming someone different, that is so scary. This is your brain doing its job. And this is the exact topic that we are going to cover in next week's episode. It is how your body and your brain rebels when you try to lose weight and what to expect when that happens and then how to conquer it. When you get on the priority list for my brand new Back to Basics weight loss program, when doors open in September, you can join at a discounted rate. Plus, you're going to be invited to the last few podcasts and coaching that I'm hosting this summer. And I'll leave a link in the show notes for you to check it out. Here is my challenge for you. I want you to stop thinking about the scale. I want you to give yourself one or two of these non-scale goals that you want to accomplish over the next month. And then hit me up. Let me know what it is. So thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Holly Bertone, and this is Weight Loss Forensics.